It can be hard to know how to classify a movie, so me, Juan, and Megan are going to use our SYFY WIRE video store wall of truth to classify some of our favorite movies as either horror or not horror. There's an overall sense of dread in a horror film. It's a little more grotesque and physical than a thriller or drama, and there are some fantastical elements, but it's not a fantasy. So Megan, where would you put Hereditary?
Oh my god, this is so easy.
Really?
Yes.
Screaming, why?
It's not a horror movie. Hereditary is basically a movie about mental illness, so it's a drama that happens to have satanic elements in the last 30 seconds.
Okay, counterpoint, a head falls off.
No, so what? You could do a historical piece, Marie
That's
Antoinette,
true.
so don't tell me that
That's
heads
true.
rolling makes it horror.
Anne
So-
Boleyn, the Tudor, yeah.
So I will stand by this decision despite all the internet trolling that I will get for it.
Oh, not, okay, not horror. How do you feel about that?
I never seen it, so now I know it.
Okay, great. Well, sorry. Well, you don't know, a head falls off.
Well, yeah, and then the satanic stuff doesn't start till the end, so now I know just to like forward it till the end.
Here's what I'll say about Hereditary. You can forward it to the end. That satanic stuff won't make sense. Okay, Juan,
Yes.
you have the classic
Love it.
7.
Second DVD I ever bought in my life.
Really, what was the first?
Chainsaw and Bob Strike Back.
Cool.
Cool. I am gonna put this in not horror as well.
Okay.
Because
Alright.
it's more of a detective thriller and psychological kind of thing. There's no real jump scares. There's some gore, but it's already like post-action gore, so it's not gore as it's happening. So
Got
So
it.
would you put Silence of the Lambs in a horror movie?
Damn. Ooh.
I think that's
hot
psychological
take,
thriller.
okay.
It's like a detective.
Thriller.
All right.
Yeah.
Thriller category messes it all up.
Thriller category.
This is not it.
Wait, is this not?
So, very recent, still in the theaters.
Ooh.
Parasite. Excellent movie. Definitely elements. All right. I'm gonna say it's horror.
Bold decision.
And here's why.
I don't know if I agree, but okay.
I don't know if I do
But
either.
back it up. Let's go.
I think because a huge part of the movie is upending certain horror tropes and expectations that you have of horror movies, I'm gonna put it in that genre, but I wouldn't think someone's wrong for calling it just drama. But also, here's an interesting test. If you were like, I want a drama, I know nothing about it, you picked up Parasite, you'd be pissed when you got home. You'd be like, what? This is insane.
That's true. I mean, I went into it thinking it was a horror movie, and so when it wasn't, I was like, oh, this is fine. I could totally do this.
Yeah.
But had I not known what I was walking into slightly, I think I would have been
think
a
you'd
little
be pissed.
upset. Yeah.
Okay,
I haven't seen it.
go see it.
Is it like actual Parasite?
No.
No bugs.
No bugs.
No bugs. No bugs. Okay, moving on. So we're not sure. We're torn on Parasite, but I felt like the horror shelf needed one. Next, Megan, this is you, I think. Alien.
Okay.
Okay.
This one's hard for me because I have arguments on both sides.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Here's why I'm gonna go with not horror.
Wow, not hard.
So there's a specific reason why, and it's kind of what you were just talking about with Parasite, is that
Okay.
I think that Alien is a horror movie, actually, but I think that it has a higher likelihood of people enjoying the title if you classify it as a science fiction title.
Science fiction.
Like, it definitely, to me, is horror in a way that a lot of science fiction movies can be, but I think the label of science fiction, so if I'm working at Blockbuster and I want a better
all are.
opportunity for someone to see this amazing film, I'm gonna call it not horror.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Alien, not horror. Next, Juan, we have A Quiet Place. This is hard. Oh, damn. No hesitation. Something.
Oh!
Wow.
Really?
What's a horror movie? Okay, so
I don't even know anymore.
Quiet
honestly.
Place, not horror.
No, I don't.
But then what
the
is it?
premise of it, I think it's another suspenseful. It's like a
Yeah.
suspense movie more than anything. There's like no overwhelming sense of. I mean, I know there's like. It's very tense because people can't speak out loud.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like something's like consistently stalking you and that sense of dread that we talked about earlier. I just feel it's like, as long as you're quiet, you're good. You know
Yeah,
what
you just
I
have to
mean?
be quiet.
And when stuff does happen, a lot of stuff happens kind of off camera. And
Yeah.
when stuff happens off camera, I feel like it takes you out of that horror mentality.
Yeah, but
Me
having to be
personally.
quiet is my horror.
It's your personal
My
horror.
personal
fair.
horror.
Yeah, well, you could live under the waterfall, like when they hang out under the waterfall. Maybe you're, you know, I don't know. I think I agree. It's not horror. Okay, I'll do this next one. This is kind of an easy one, I think. Get Out. I mean, this is a horror movie.
Yes.
Get Out is also, why are we doing it in this way? Were we told to not put them on the shelf like the way you use a shelf?
I don't know. I just figured it looked nicer.
It does look so much better, but it's really
Now, are
makes me
you
laugh.
saying
Also,
it's
we
horror
work at
because
Blockbuster.
it is horror, or because Jordan Peele said it's horror?
Both.
Okay.
I think it's horror. I think there's a sense of dread. There's definitely like grotesque physical moments. And I think it's kind of the same thing as Parasite, where it's drawing on so many horror movies that it would be really hard not to call it a horror movie. So I think it's firmly in the horror movie category. Next up, Megan, this one's for you. Terminator. Damn. Terminator.
I'm gonna say
Also,
not
we're out
horror.
of Twizzlers.
I'm gonna say not horror.
Interesting.
I agree.
I agree too.
Yeah, I don't. There's not much about it. I mean, other than the horror of potentially sleeping with a robot, I'm pretty good.
There's also a lot of gunplay. I feel like gunplay is a really good sign of saying it's not
Gunplay.
horror.
I kind of agree with that, yeah.
The minute I see gunplay, I think action. Right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think horror.
Action
I
thriller.
think horror is more like visceral
Yes.
instruments like knives, axes, machetes, scissors,
Ooh, scissors.
on and
Damn
on.
it.
I think gunplay just screams action.
I agree. Okay. It Comes at Night. Anyone can take this. It Comes at Night?
Can I?
Yes, please.
Because this is definitely not horror.
Whoa.
This is another example, I think, if you add in with Hereditary and A Quiet Place. Is A24 marketing a horror movie that is not actually a horror movie? You know, it's like how you could recut Mrs. Doubtfire to be a horror movie. Like, you can cut a trailer to make something horror.
I never thought about it.
But I don't actually think It Comes at Night was that scary. And I am scared by my own reflection sometimes, so.
Do you think it failed at being scary or it wasn't a horror movie?
I think it wasn't a horror movie.
Okay.
I think it more so had thriller or suspense aspects to it, but I don't think it delivered on especially what we've ascertained at the top as
Yeah.
the three things that create a horror movie.
Okay. All right. It Comes at Night, not horror. Ooh, I'll do this one. Joss.
Ooh, okay. So what do you
Okay.
think on this?
It's awesome.
I think this is not horror. Uh-oh, here we go.
I don't know that I agree.
This is where our system. Aw,
It still looks great.
good night. I tucked him in.
Okay, not
Okay.
a horror movie.
I don't think Jaws is a horror movie. And you know what? I really can't defend it because there is a sense of dread. It is grotesque and physical. And the third one is there too. Something about it being an animal, I think, makes me feel like and in my mind, because
Creature features, come on.
Creature
See, I
Features.
agree with you. I don't think it's horror either.
See, I think it is though.
but Jaws is real. Like Jaws
Exactly.
is a real.
It's
Jaws is
too
a real
realistic.
shark, Megan.
Yeah.
Like, it has happened.
But I think real horror is the stuff that is real. Like a
Wow.
giant shark eating you?
Yeah, I guess. All right, so let's move it back. Do you mind moving it?
I got it. I got it.
Wow.
You're,
Hard.
you're easily persuaded.
No.
Well, when she's wrong, you
Yeah,
know.
when I'm wrong. When I'm wrong as hell. Okay. Next, Signs.
Ooh, Juan, I think you should take this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay.
This one's easy for me. I'm gonna go with horror.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
No, because it's things that are not. None of us have ever seen Alien in real life, so it's something fan. Oh,
Guy
I
from
guess
Blink 182
two of
did.
us?
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
one of them. I don't know. I've never seen Aliens.
I wish.
But the tone of that movie of the aliens being stalking them in that house, and the way
Yeah.
you know they cross the camera lens, and the scene where they actually come face to face with it, like there's definitely an overwhelming sense of dread throughout that entire movie.
Yeah. And I feel like M. Night Shyamalan, maybe this shouldn't matter, but he generally makes horror movies.
He does.
Yeah, for the most part.
But I would argue that even if you wanted to try to say that it's not a horror movie, at least the tenets of it is shot like one. Like
Yeah.
it is
Sure.
set up to
And
be
the
shot
te-
that
it's very-
way. And
Yeah.
a
so
lot of tension with the soundtrack and just the way the different camera angles were shot. Like, it's to me, it's just classic.
Okay, Signs is horror. All right, last one,
Ooh.
The Abyss. Who wants to take The Abyss?
The Abyss. Sorry, that's
You?
Yeah.
Do it.
Because this will be one of the few times I actually believe
Wow.
that something is horror.
We're almost balanced, which I'm shocked by because
Yeah.
we started out so heavy on the not horror.
We did.
Okay, so The Abyss.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking terrifying.
Okay, so yeah, it's scary.
It's actually terrifying, so.
Okay, so let's tally. We got Hereditary, not a horror movie. 7, Alien, It Comes at Night, A Quiet Place, and Terminator, not horror. Yes, horror, Parasite, Get Out, Jaws, which is under manager review, but we ended up with Jaws, Signs in the Abyss. That feels right to me, right?
Well, I think it makes you realize Blockbuster was all about marketing, right? And it was all about like how you chose to market something. So
Yeah.
if you go back to like my argument with A24, it's like I put The Abyss there, or even other titles like Signs, because if you like these things about horror movies, you're going to like these films. And so I think that's the interesting idea, is that we have a lot of flexibility now to put things in different categories, especially with streaming. But previously, how did you get something in front of the right amount of eyeballs? You had to guess. And I think that these are pretty much good assumptions of how we'd have to classify these movies in the blockbuster age.
All
would've
these
been
live in
great.
that borderline too. They're
Yeah.
all on that borderline.
Well, that's a
that
good movie.
Depending on where you push it, it'll fall on either side.
Yeah, like a good movie should have elements of more than one genre.
Totally, because otherwise it's going to feel too trope heavy.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, everything's just playing into those tropes from that type of film. And I think you're right. I think everything is about the right blend of different elements.
So I think we learned a lot about ourselves, each other, and the horror genre today. Just kidding. Horror can be literally anything that scares someone. See? It can be anything.